Hey! This video is for people who are struggling to maintain their own schedule. They've never had to do that before, and yeah. This is some stuff that I've picked up, stuff that I have implemented in the past. It's not really what I need for my current situation in life because I'm not home all day. But when I was home all day, every day for those few months, this helped me. So the first thing, in order to plan out stuff, you need to make a comprehensive list of everything. All the things you need to do. Brain dump. Are you familiar with that term? Isn't it yummy? Yeah, that's where you literally just write without stopping, even if you repeat yourself or even if it gets silly. Like, write down everything you need to do. In your brain dumping time, it's really important to, assess in some way what things are priority that need to be done that day, but also make notes for what things will be priorities in another day. I highly recommend watching a video about this thing called bullet journaling. You may have already heard of it, but there are some really useful principles in there for being able to group together things. I also highly recommend listening to this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. So you can come up with however many categories you need to for your life. So, here's categories. Breaks, okay, that's not really a category. Anyway, cleaning, school, hobbies, social, and that's actually utilizing social media in a social way, or, actually talking to people, real life, Zoom, just, it's important to maintain contact. Limitations, that's another thing that's really important to keep in mind. Deadlines, habits you want to form, goals. So, you look at all the things you have to do, all the things you need to do, all the things you want to do. You divide them up between the hours of time that you have available. But going back to limitations, where did my pen go? I'm so professional. You already know. Oh, it's in the book. So, let's say that you have a class from 10 to 12. Okay, that time is blocked out. Let's say you have to be quiet from 1 to 4. So you can't, make any noise or whatever. Let's say there's no way that you would wake up this early, so that doesn't even count. So you look at what you have. Okay, 9 o'clock and 5, I only put it to 6 because I was originally thinking about my life. Because after 6 is dinner, and then kids go to bed, and then it's kind of just more tonight having our individual nerd time and then watching Netflix until we go to sleep. But anyway, you take stock of what is actually available to you, and you plan in those things. So, something that has been really good for me is dividing things into smaller chunks of time, like cleaning. I've done this thing before where I have 10-minute chunks for each area. And even if it's not totally clean in that time, I still move on to the next one because it's really easy to get stuck doing something and to do it slow. But if you give yourself 10 minutes to do something, you're doing something towards that. And to really try to fit in all the things that you want to do, if you say, okay, 5 to 5:30 cleaning, and then 5:30 to 6 writing or something. You set alarms and you stick to your plans and you make it happen. It's a good idea to be strict and see what works for you. Obviously our brains are different and what works for one person is not going to work for another, but to see how much things you can get done if you really divide the time up for it. Another thing that is really, really good is to prep your space ahead of time. So, I mean your physical space and your digital space. Close close some tabs. I'm laughing because I'm bad at this, but I'm getting better. So that you don't have a lot of distracting tabs when you're meant to work. And your physical space too. You'll feel so much better to have it clean and things put away before you start. And physically putting the distractions further away and putting the things you want to do closer and closer reach. Another thing that is really good is having specific space set aside for specific things. Like if you are working on a hobby and school and whatever in one part of your space, like maybe in the kitchen, that's your school space, and in your room, hi. So yes, different space for different things to help your mind kind of transition from one subject to the next. I hope there was something useful in this. I know it's not for everyone, but if anything helped you or inspired you, let me know. It's really loud in here because it's the beginning of the school year. So, oh well. Anyway, I wanted to say hugs and nostrils of death.